fish, plants, and hardscape, the trinity of the underwater world. This is a dynamic, growing, and flourishing relationship, just as our relationship with Victor.
That's true.
It's dynamic and it's growing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's good to have you here, mate.
Yeah, again, we're back.
We're back.
And we're building something great today.
We're building a diorama style tank. Have you ever done a diorama in your life?
No, it's not really my style, but I think I will learn something with you guys. So
we're also building the terrestrial parts because we're growing out of the aquarium. We're doing a kind of paludarium here today.
Welcome to the beautiful world of aquascaping. The challenge will be here today that we will keep the aquarium. So we are not replacing this just for this project, we're keeping it. We will have a lot of details in the glass, but we also plan to build something above the water. All the technique is the same as before. Maybe we will replace the CO2 later on, but we have a large filtration. The light is the same as before, Solar RGB from ADA.
Absolutely, and Green Aqua is your source for aquarium gear. We ship to most European countries, so if you guys want to support us, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, that's true. Or you need an advice, just let us know.
Yeah, and I always say that you need to plant heavily from day one because that's the key for a balanced ecosystem, where fish and plants coexist in harmony. We're gonna plant heavily probably in this one, but let's start from an Iwagumi point and let's have a nice underwater part. And we have a lot of epiphyte plants because this was the Indonesian style scape that had served its purpose, and we took it apart just a couple of days ago.
What the F is that?
So it's a huge one.
That's the hardscape we will use. This is the dark cerulean stone. The name is coming from that. It's texture is the same like with the cerulean stone, but the color is a bit darkish, grayish. Underwater, maybe more bluish. I think I've never seen actually cerulean stone or dark cerulean in this size.
Watch the rim, watch the rim. The base plate itself would withstand the pressure. This is why we have polyfoam underneath the base plate, but you need to distribute that pressure so that the whole thing doesn't stand on one point. Yeah. You can put 200 kilos in this tank, nothing would happen unless you don't put anything underneath. This one is actually in Gordon ratio, so we need to move it at least 10 centimeters to the right. Okay.
Oh, it's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, stable.
Actually, while I was working on the first piece, I just realized that building and maintaining aquariums in general is the best therapy that I know.
Well, you love the construction part. Some others maybe love the gardening part. So that's why the hobby is beautiful. Angels are watching.
Yeah, hello
super
guys.
Super excited, yeah. What Balázs is building in their neighborhood.
We have used this before, material that would bring up the moisture from the water to the other plants. We could bring the water from behind up. I do want to have like an opening which is quite straight on the other side. Do you remember that David, our team member, did another aquarium at a client's place that had this narrow gap in the middle? So maybe if you could find a huge rock that would go also as high as possible. Somehow I don't like the texture of it. The one that we had before was better.
Yeah, the bigger one.
We need to support this rock with these 3 smaller ones.
And a question from George Farmer. What fish you will use in the end? Shout out to George.
Absolutely. We need to wait.
But you have an ID?
No. After the layout is ready, I'm going to decide. This will be empty. So the soil level will be here in the middle, and here.
And but that's a lot of height. So
yeah, that's why I'm going to build a barrier here. There's soil in here. We can plant in this.
So the good thing, well, we have a soil that like Balázs said, we can plant anything in there, which probably we'll use. But it also an active soil. It's lowering the water hardness a bit, fixing the pH, so we don't need to worry too much about the CO2 fluctuation. The good thing is that if this would be done by Tommy, probably the whole thing would be collapsed already. We have a new series on Instagram, I think on TikTok as well. We are doing this short form video content. If you're only interested about these short tips, this is in Advanced Day Archive series. If you don't have Hygralon, which is not something that you can buy in every hardware store, you can use clay. And we also have the clay from Bio, and you can put it there. That's good for the plants because it also have nutrients in it. I think this is a perfect scape to use some of these. So one is the Insula pad from Bio. It's basically a clay type of material which you can use and shape and put this to the top of the stones. And the other one is the Aqua Grow medium, which is basically a bagged medium, and you can put the plants directly into the bag and place the bag somewhere on the top of the scapes.
It's gonna shape up nicely, I guess.
Especially if we figure out something to the front.
This is not going to be in the scape.
Just to see how.
Just to see, to have an idea of how a bonsai tree could.
Yeah, much better. 1 point lower.
Even here?
Yeah.
On the water?
Yeah, yeah.
No. I would put it above the water.
This would work there.
And then you've got plants behind it as well.
The finer the details we have, the better the scape will be.
Actually, we are behind the tank already, so we're this much behind the tank. How about that? Better?
But that's my way. No glue.
No glue? For sure I'm going to glue.
If I see the rest of the layout, probably a triangle would work better than having a standalone big island.
If we have a triangle, there's no more terrestrial part left on the left side. Now we only have like 1/4 or 1/5 the terrestrial part. Actually, I want to leave this and then we will put some plants on it. We could use these for better purposes, like here.
No more. No more in the back.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's a stripe. So in case you want to use
this one
part
is nice.
As a bottom. I kind of like it that we have smaller and larger gaps in between the. That's how it is in nature.
This here.
That's good.
See my problem?
Yeah, but no plants, no trees now.
But there's nothing to support the trees. There's not enough space above the water. There's no place to plant.
I know.
And we are making a terrarium today. We will need to fill this up, and in order to fill it up, we need to close the gaps. Yeah, just put it in the middle here. So we have the first terrace ready. The big question is if I want to raise the left side or not. Victor says it's fine.
I kind of like it when you're standing in front of the scape and the whole scape is like hugging you.
Right.
But on the other side, if we elevate the left side, the whole thing will be very symmetrical.
If I continue the line like that, see my point? And then we have a triangle there.
The layout itself is very complicated. We use a lot of gluing to build up the whole structure, and still a lot of details need to go into the front and the first part, and also some of the holes we will fill in with the stones. It's very time consuming. But what's next? We want to implement a fogging machine. We've not talked about it maybe. We will have a waterfall feature.
What I'm trying to do is to construct like a waterfall. Ideally, it shouldn't go down in a straight line, so it should like do the S shape somehow.
You're putting in some small stones to stop the water from...
To lead the water in the certain way that I really want it to go. The next step would be to finalize the front.
Five, 6 hours later, the whole structure, I think you had this in mind.
Not really. I wanted to have more above the water part still.
You see some artificial bonsai decoration on top of it. We tried to get real bonsai trees which extend the...
Yeah, we will go and we will ask our plant specialist to help us with selecting some plants. And in case you're wondering what kind of sand or what kind of soil or what kind of pebbles did we use, you can check out in the description because we're going to list that as well.
Everything is listed below.
Next week we're going to have the planting session with Cuba, our plant specialist, and Victor. So exciting times. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.